Hey, welcome to Wolf's Watch, live from King Harbor, Redondo Beach, California. Hear that ocean back there? The bell from the buoy. It's guiding ships in, boats into the harbor here, which is behind us here. There's some boats, but most of them are tied up back where we can't see them. But I wanted to point out, see this big break wall back here? All the rocks? Spin over so you can see the signs of it. That is an extensive break wall. In 1987, that break wall was completely washed out. And the hotel that you can't see, there's a hotel that runs along with these buildings back here. The entire first floor was washed out of the hotel. There's dramatic video. If you search YouTube, you can probably find it. I'll post, if I see if I can find a link and post it in the comments and show notes later. But I remember the storm in 1987 where that happened. Massive 25-foot waves. Where we're standing now, where I'm standing now, would have been 10 feet below the top of the wave. So look behind me here, see where these buildings are. The waves were that tall when they hit the beach. So it would have been cresting. Most of this stuff hadn't been built at that time. It would have been cresting over the parking garage and into those buildings behind us. Took out most of the what's called the U-shaped pier, or the U-pier here in Redondo, which is now concrete. That's the reason that the pier that I'm standing on is here, because this is what replaced the wood that got washed out during that. The thing is, we knew a storm was coming. We knew it was going to be bad. We'd prepared for it. We didn't know it was going to be that bad. A few people got killed in the hotel because the waves washed out the rocks from the break wall. So think about this. Think about some of the things that are happening in your business right now. The waves got washed out the rocks in the break wall because they kept coming. We have the break wall there as protection and security to create this harbor. One wave after another, after another, after another, of such immense size. Let me get my hand in here so I can talk with my hands. Of such immense size, eventually washed out the rocks, the boulders, these huge multi-ton boulders, and then the waves just rolled on into King Harbor, wiping out the entire first floor of the hotel, damaging some of the second. There were people in the dining room, in the restaurant at the hotel, and there was at least one that I remember that was unfortunately killed in that episode of a massive storm. The Santa Monica Pier was washed out. It was just unbelievable. And now here we are all these years later. There's an even better, more beautiful, more usable space. Look, there's this huge open area behind us. There's people roller skating. I've roller skated here a lot, not in recent years, but I used to roller skate here a lot myself. And it's just a wonderful place to come and meditate. I wanted to share this with you. I was thinking about it. I just finished a meeting here. So imagine that. You know, do you have places like this where you can get out and have a meeting? Sometimes it's not appropriate to do a meeting in a space like this, but sometimes it is. And sometimes I just don't care. I do it anyway. What an awesome spot for a meeting. Helped us have a different conversation. Helped us think differently. Got me thinking about the history that I have seen here. I watched them land over yonder where you can't see because it's on the other side of the camera, looking the opposite direction over here. I watched them land a big pink helicopter while they were filming a TV show. I just walked by a restaurant that they used to use when they were filming another TV show. And you would recognize the shows if I named them. Do some homework. See if you can figure out what they were. Put it in the comments. What shows do you think they were? It was a very famous TV show for the restaurant. And it was actually, you know, it was about high schoolers that weren't even in LA County. But they filmed here and some other places we'll talk about another time. I don't want to lose the point here of, do you have places like this where you can have a shift in mindset so that you can have a shift in conversation when you're having a meeting, whether it's business, whether it's personal, whether it's just having some personal time? You want to think differently, do different stuff, act different. Just think about this. Just look here. Got the rolling sea, got the bell on the buoy, got seagulls flying around, cackling every once in a while. Got the occasional sea lion barking. Not sea lion, the sea dogs. You know what I'm talking about. It's just such a different environment. And I don't know about you, but if I don't make time to be out of places like this, I lose that connection to what I'm doing, why I'm doing it. into, you know, what I want in the world around me. So think about that. What are you doing? I want to hear from you. Put it in the comments. I'm going to let you go. So I want to enjoy this, going to zen out and go for a walk along the coast here and enjoy it while I can. Enjoy it while you can. Thanks for joining me for Wolf's Watch. I'm Wolf, and I will see you on the trail.